Jumped in. This is Shalaya with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today we are going over how to customize your KW website. For today's class, the things we are going to cover is going to be how to add some additional pages to your website. So we are going to go over how to add a mortgage calculator page, a local school search page, a home valuation tool page, a Why Work with Keller Williams page, as well as a download my app page. So we're going to go over each of those today. So to get started, you do want to make sure you are logged into Command. So that's going to be agent.kw.com. So once you get logged in, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to make sure that our marketing profile is completely up to date. The marketing profile is what feeds over to your website. So as far as your agent information, your contact details, your headshot photo, any of that automatically pulls into your website from your marketing profile. So if you ever need to update any of those items, you want to make sure that your profile is updated. So to get to that, we want to go to the top right corner of Command and click on our name. And then we're going to go down to Settings. Once we're in our settings, we want to go to the left-hand side and go under Connect Settings. And that's where we can find our marketing profile here. So the first thing I like to point out here is in the top right of this profile, we have a green toggle here. So this is what is allowing your profile to feed over to your marketing. So if this is toggled off, that means your website and your marketing are not going to be branded to you as the agent. So always make sure that's turned on there. Next is your headshot photo. You do want to make sure that your headshot is cropped down to a perfect square, as if it looks distorted or anything in this circle preview here, that is how it's going to show up on your marketing. If you do need any assistance getting that cropped down or uploaded, you can always email it over to us and we can get that adjusted for you. Next is a team logo. So if you are on a team, you can add your team logo here. If you're not on the team, we do recommend still uploading some kind of logo here as a placeholder, because some of the marketing materials automatically pulls that logo in. So if you don't have an image uploaded there, it can show up as a broken image link on your marketing. So you can use just a generic KW logo like we have here, or maybe a realtor designation logo, whatever works best for you. Next is going to be your detailed information. So we do recommend being sure that your name reflects the name on your license to follow compliance purposes. And then you have your license number. There's a spot for a team name if you're on a team. Your job title. If you have a custom slogan that you use for your business. And then you have your designations and credentials. Next, under that, you do have the option to add in military affiliations here. So you're first going to choose your affiliation type. And then once you select that, you're going to get another drop down here to choose the branch that you are affiliated with. If you do add that in, always be sure that you click on the add button to the right. Otherwise, that is not going to save when you save your profile. Next under that is going to be your bio. So the way your bio looks in this box here is how it will show up on your marketing and your website. So if you have any line breaks between your paragraphs like you see here or anything like that, this is where you want to make sure that is updated the way you would like it to appear. Under that is going to be your contact information. So you have your mobile phone number, your office phone number, and you also have the option to add a fax number in here if you would like. And then you're going to have your business email. Most likely you'll see your KW email in this box. However, if you have a custom business email that you use instead of your KW email, you can change that out. And then next is going to be your website URL. So most likely this will be your KW domain, unless you are using a custom domain for your site. Under that is going to be your market center information. So we do recommend always being sure that this is always up to date. So if by chance you have transferred market centers or your office has relocated, always be sure this is reflecting the correct location so you are following compliance purposes. Now for the market center logo, you may see that it looks distorted in this circle. For the logos, unlike the headshot photo, these will automatically correct themselves on your marketing. So we can leave that as it is without resizing or cropping that down. Next is going to be our compliance items. So we have our legal footer text. So if there is any text that your office requires for compliance, you can add that in there. Under that, you have the option to add legal footer links. So if you have links that need to be in your legal footer, you can add those by clicking on the add another link here. You'll enter your link title and then the URL to your link. And then to delete these, you can simply click on the red trash can icon all the way to the right here. Next, you have legal footer images. So these are very small. They are thumbnail size images. So you probably don't want to use this for any big advertising or anything like that. However, if you have any images that are required for compliance or maybe any additional credential logos, things like that, you can always put those there. Under that is going to be your social media links. So this is how you can add your social media links to your website. So if you have your business pages set up, such as your Facebook page, if you have a Twitter, your Instagram page, if you have a YouTube channel, as well as your LinkedIn profile. So you have all of those as options to add to your marketing. And then last at the bottom, there is a section here for Google Analytics ID. So Google Analytics is a way to track the traffic to your website. So you can add that in here. And there is also a spot on the back end of the new websites to add that tracking ID. So I'll show you where that is later on when we get to that section. When you make any changes to this profile, always be sure that you click on the save button at the bottom here to save your changes. And that's going to refresh the page. And we're going to get this little pop-up letting us know that the profile was saved. So now that our marketing profile is updated, we can go ahead and jump into the website. So to get to our KW site, we want to go to the Consumer tab. That's going to be the last icon on this left side menu here. And if you're still getting familiar with what each of these icons are, if you click on the red KW block in the top left corner, that's going to give you a description for each of these here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into Consumer. So for our consumer page here, we have our website domain here. We have our app URL here, which we'll come back and grab this later on to do our download my app page. We have our app preferences and our registration limits. So you can locate all of those within the consumer page here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our website dashboard, and we can get there by clicking on the Edit My Website button here in the center. So once we get to the dashboard of our website here, we can get started on adding those additional pages to our site. So the first page that we are going to add is going to be the mortgage calculator page. So this one is fairly simple to add, as KW has already created a template for us to use for this page. So if we go under the quick start section here, we have a few options here. So you have a blog post option to create blogs. You have custom page option to create custom pages. You have a landing page option to create standalone landing pages. And then next to that is going to be this template HTML mortgage calculator. So this is what we're going to select for our mortgage calculator page. So I'm just going to click on this here. So once we click into that template, we can see that this page is already built out and ready to add to our website. So we already have our page title here. However, you can change this if you would like a different verbiage there. And then we have our mortgage calculator here and our contact form. So if we scroll down here, we can find our contact form here at the bottom. So we don't have to make any changes to this since the template is already created for us. So we can simply go to the top right of this page and click on publish. And that's going to make this page live on our website. So that one is fairly simple to just grab and publish there. So now we're going to go back to our website dashboard. So we can either click on the return to dashboard link here in this green banner, or we can click on the KW logo in the top left. This logo up here will always take you back to your dashboard no matter what page you are on. So the next page we're going to add is going to be the local school search page. So that one's going to have a few more steps to it as we have to build that template out ourselves. So for this, we're going to go under the quick start section here, and we're going to choose custom page. So the first thing that we want to do here is we want to enter our page title. So I'm going to name this local school search. However, you can use a different verbiage if you would prefer something else. And then down below that is going to be our page header settings, which this is just taking a second to catch up here in the preview. Let's see if we can get that to refresh for us. There we go. So you can leave this with a plain background as you see here, or you can add a background image to your header. So if you have a school image or something related that will kind of go with the page theme, you can add a background image there. So if we click on this little plus symbol here, it's going to give us this empty kind of text box here. So if we click on here, we're going to get this pop-up box. So if we've already uploaded the image that we want to use, we'll be able to find that in this pop-up box here. Or if you need to upload the image that you want to use, we can go to the bottom left corner of this pop-up. And there's this new button here, and that will allow you to upload a new image. So for now, I'm just going to select one of these images up here, just so you can see what it looks like to have a background image there. So then we can click off of this pop-up box. And so now you can see that it threw that image in that page header here. So next we're going to go under page contents here, and we're going to add a module. So for this, we are going to scroll all the way down on this pop-up box. And for our school search, we're going to choose the HTML embed. So once we add that module here, we're then going to click on this empty box here. And so you'll see right now, all we have in here is that mortgage calculator template. So we're going to go to the top of this menu and select Create New. So we first need to give it a name. So I'm just going to name it the same thing as the page. And again, you can use whatever verbiage you prefer for your website. And then we have to get our HTML code. So to do that, we have this widget site that we are using, and I will drop a link to this in the chat box for you. So once we get to this page, we are going to scroll down until we find the school data widget section. So this is where we are going to build our school widget and grab that HTML code. So the first thing that we're going to do is select the location. So you can either search by city and state or by zip code, so whatever works best for you. Once we enter that location, it's automatically going to update this widget on the side here. And then you can select the size that you would like to use. We typically choose custom size and change this from 650 by 650 to 850 by 850, as we find that works best with the website platform. However, you can choose whatever custom size you prefer if you want to kind of play around with it and see what size works best for you. So I'm just going to change the size here. And that's automatically going to update our widget here. And then you can also change the background color of the widget. So there are many color options to choose from here. So if you want to kind of look through those and find a color that kind of matches your theme, I'm going to choose black for this one. And then we're going to click on this generate code button. And that's going to update our widget code down here. So if we simply click in this text box here, it's automatically going to highlight that entire code for us. So then once that's highlighted, we can simply right click, and then we're going to copy. So now we're going to go back to our custom page tab up here. And so we want to paste that HTML code here. However, we do want to make sure this is centered on the page. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like if we don't center it. So if we right click and paste our code here, you'll see that's going to be left aligned on the page and it's not going to be centered. So in order to center this on the page, we want to go to the very beginning of this code. And you can even type this in before you paste your code in. And we are going to simply type in our brackets with the word center here. And that should center it on the page for us. And I'll drop this in the chat for you as well. And this should update once we publish it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the publish button in the top right corner. See if we can get this to refresh here. Looks like that refreshed our whole page here on us. Let's see. We'll just get that added back in here. So it did publish that school widget for us because we'll see now we have the local school search option under the HTML. So we're going to select that from the list, and that's going to add our school widget to the page here. And now you can see that it is centered on the page. So I'm also going to add a contact form to the bottom of the page here. So under the page contents, under the HTML module that we added, I'm going to click on the add module button again. And then once again, we're going to go to the bottom of this pop-up box. And then I'm going to select the form option, which is the first option on this list here. And then we're going to click on that blank text box here. And we're going to select the contact form. So now that's going to add our contact form under the school widget here. So now that that's added in, we can click on the publish button in the top right and get that published on our site. So we got that green banner letting us know that the page was saved. So now we can head back to our dashboard again. So the next page that we are going to add is going to be the home valuation tool page. So that's going to be a what's my home worth page. So once again, we are going to choose custom page under the quick start section. So the first step is going to be entering our page title here. And again, you can use your own verbiage if you want a different page title for yours. It's completely customizable there. And just like the school search page, if you want to add a background image to your header, you can do so. And then under page contents, we are going to choose add module. So for the home valuation tool, kind of similar to how they already had a template for the mortgage calculator, they already have a template for the home valuation form. So if we scroll all the way down on this pop-up box here to our list items, we have this home value search component. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And that's going to be our home value form here. And so just like our school search page, I'm also going to add a contact form at the bottom. So we are going to click on add module. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom here. And we're going to choose the form option again. And then we're going to click on that text box there and select the contact form. So once we have that added in, we can click on the publish button. And that's going to publish our page to our site there. So that one's fairly simple, similar to the mortgage calculator page, just a couple extra steps there. And now we can go ahead and go back to our dashboard again. So the next page that we will add is our download my app page. So once again, we are going to go under quick start and custom page. So we are going to enter our page title at the top. And again, you can use whatever verbiage you prefer for your website. Now for this one, I don't want the page header on here. So under page header, I'm going to click on this drop down menu. And I'm going to change this from page heading to none to remove that from the page. And then we're going to go under our page contents and add module. So we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom again. But for this option, so we've already used our form module, our HTML module, our home value module. So for our download my app page, we want to use the iframe module. So we're going to click on iframe embed here. And then we are going to click on this empty box here. And so we have no items in here yet. So we're going to click on create new on this drop-out menu. So we're going to enter our internal name. And again, you can make this the same as the page title, or you can make it something else. And then we have this box for URL. So this is where we want to put in our URL to our mobile app. So to locate that, we want to go back to our command tab up here, which is our first tab. And we're going to scroll down on our consumer page, and we're going to find our app URL here. So we're going to simply click on the copy button here, and that's going to copy our link for us. So now we'll click back over to our page here, and then we're going to paste that in that URL text box here. So we can simply right click and paste. And that's going to generate our download my app page here. So now we can go ahead and click on publish in the top right. And then we're going to go to the top left and click on the back button here. And then now we're going to click on that text box again. And now we have the option to choose our iframe module here. So that should add in our download my app page. It's just a little slow loading our preview here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on publish in the top right and see if that refreshes for us. There we go. So that added in our download my app page to our site. So now we can go ahead and go back to the dashboard again. So we have one more page that we are going to add today. So that's going to be the Why Work with Keller Williams page. So that one is very easy. It's very similar to the mortgage calculator where they already have the template made for us and we just need to publish it. So under the quick start section, the last option here is this template, Why Work with KW. So we're going to go ahead and click on that template link here. So you'll see this page is already built out and ready to go. You can change the title of this if you would prefer to use a different title, different verbiage. You can customize that under the page title box here. You can add a background image to the header if you would like to. And then we can just simply click on the publish button in the top right, and that's going to publish this page to our website. So now we're going to head back to our dashboard again. So if we scroll down on our dashboard, we can now see all of the custom pages that we just created on our site, as well as those modules we created. So the HTML module we created for the school search, as well as the iframe module for the app. So the other thing that I will show you in the back end here before we take a look at how the live site looks, we're going to go to the top left corner and click on the 3 lines. And then in this menu, we're going to go under admin and then organization site. So this is going to be the back end of our site here. So if we scroll down here, this is where we can add in our Google Analytics ID. So if you have that tracking ID, we would recommend adding it both to that marketing profile as well as this section of your website, just to be sure that is tracking all of the traffic to your site the way it's supposed to. If you don't have Google Analytics set up yet and you need assistance setting that up, you can always reach out to us and we can help with getting that set up for you. The other thing you have on this page here is we have all of our custom pages down here, and we can reorder these if we want them to show up in a different order. So we can simply click and drag these and move them around if we want those to appear in a different order on our site. So if you make any changes to this page here, always be sure that you click on the save button in the top right to save your changes. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what our live site looks like with those new pages added. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. So we have our site URL here at the top, so we can simply click on that to open our live site up. So any custom pages that you add are going to be located under the More section of your website. So in the top right, we have our More, and then all of the pages we just added. So let's go ahead and take a look at what those look like now that they are live. So first we have our mortgage calculator page. So this mortgage calculator is completely interactive. So your clients can go in here and enter whatever numbers they are looking for. And this will update automatically with whatever they enter into the form here. And then down at the bottom, we have that contact form. So next we have our local school search page. So here is our school search widget. So we have our map. We have the list of schools. And then they can also search for other locations under the search tab here. And then down at the bottom, we have our contact form. So back up to that More section. Next is going to be what's my home worth. So that's going to be that home valuation page. So they can come in here and enter their home address. And then once they click on the Let's Go button, it's going to give them the details for their address as well as a contact form. And then you also have your contact form under that here. Next, we have our Download My App page. So this is going to be our Download My App page that we added in here. So they can click on either link depending on their device to download that. And then we have the Y Keller Williams page here. So again, this template was completely made by KW. So we just had to select it and add that in. And we've got our contact form down here. Now, if you need to update any of your information, such as your headshot photo, your contact details, anything like that, you want to make sure that is updated in your marketing profile, as this is fully pulling from that profile. And if you do add in your social media links, you can see those are linked at the bottom of the contact here. And they're also always going to be in the top right corner of your website, no matter what page you're on. So the other thing that I will point out on the live site before we wrap this up today, in the top right corner, you'll see this globe icon here. So if we click on this, you can change the language that the site shows up in. So if you have clients that are working and they speak another language, they can change the language options by clicking on that globe icon and updating that in the list here. So if we select that here, you'll see it does update that information. And then we can simply go back and change that back here. So that wraps us up for our coverage today. If you run into any trouble with any of this or have any questions, you can always reach out to us anytime at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thank you for jumping in today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.